Okay, so I want to be completely honest from the start and say that this is not a video that I ever planned on making, but yet here we are. It feels very risky and it feels very uncomfortable to be putting my actual numbers out there on the internet on a platform like YouTube for everyone else to see. I don't know if my manager or maybe my coworkers will see this video. And if they see this video, I have no idea what their reaction will be and if there will be any consequences of that. I am not one of these very rich and famous YouTubers. I still have my 9 to 5 and I'm very dependent on my 9 to 5 to be able to survive. But I still feel like it's very important to share the numbers that I'm sharing today. And that is because here in Denmark, we are pretty much taught to never talk about salaries and money in general. And I just feel like that silence is something that makes it harder for normal people like you and me to negotiate a fair salary for the hard work and the loyalty that we give our employers. Because when we stay silent, that only helps the big corporations that we work for keep all of our salaries low. And that is just the sad truth of today's world. So today I'm basically breaking that silence. I am going to give you a very honest and transparent insight into my full salary journey working in sales here in Copenhagen for the past 5 years. And I really hope that making this video and sharing my own numbers is something that will inspire other people to also talk more openly and more freely about money in general, but also their salaries. And I feel like the more honest and transparent we all become, the fairer the whole system gets. And with that said, let us get started with the video. So I started working in sales in November 2021, so almost 5 years ago. And I work in sales inside the hotel industry here in Copenhagen. And the first job I got, that was a very entry-level sales job called an in-house sales agent. And that is basically where you handle all the incoming inquiries to the hotel. So you send out offers to the clients, you put everything into the hotel system, and you do a lot of site inspections and stuff like that. You answer the phone when someone calls the hotel. And my starting base salary working as an in-house sales agent in the hotel industry was 32,000 Danish crowns per month. And then on top of that, there is also pension contributions from the company. And I'm not exactly sure what the pension contributions were back then in 2021, but now it's 11% added each month. And because I performed really well in this role as an in-house sales agent, I was quite quickly promoted to sales manager, and that meant that my base salary increased by 16%. So now I was at 38,000 Danish crowns per month. And being a sales manager was completely different from being an in-house sales agent. And I am still a sales manager today. My job is now to make sure that I get as much business into the pipeline of the different hotels that I represent as possible. So that means that I have to do a lot of cold outreach. I call clients, I email clients, I do a lot of LinkedIn posts, and I try to get new business into the pipeline basically. But another thing that I'm also responsible for is that I am responsible for taking care of the already existing clients that produce well at our hotels. So it's a combination between driving in new business to the pipeline, but also maintaining the clients that we have that are performing really well already. So in 2023, after having worked as a sales manager for approximately 1 year, I was contacted by another hotel and they would offered me a similar job, but with a much higher pay. I think they offered me 50,000 Danish crowns per month as a base salary. So I took this to my manager at the time and just explained him the situation very openly and very honestly. And he came back with a counter offer where he would raise my salary with 13%, so I would go from 38,000 to 43,000 per month. And I decided to accept that offer and stay at the company because I was really happy with my work and I really liked the team that I was working with at the time. And that meant that in 2024, when it was time to negotiate salaries again, I was only offered a 5.4% raise to 45,300 Danish crowns per month. And my manager at the time, he told me that there was absolutely nothing more that I could do. And this was the highest that my salary could go at this moment in time. So I accepted that. And then instead I decided to focus on my bonus plan and try to create as good sales results as possible to see where I could take my bonus for the year. And it actually went really well, and I completely exceeded all my sales targets for the year, and I earned 11,000 per month on average on top of my base salary for that year. And that brings us to last year. In 2025, I got a new manager, and I was very honest with her, and I told her right from the start that my goal was to have a higher base salary. And I also applied for another internal sales role within the same company as I was working for. And my manager, she decided to give me a 10% raise so that I would stay in her department instead of going to the other position. And that meant that my base salary increased to 50,000 Danish crowns per month. And last year I also managed to exceed all my sales targets, and that resulted in 8,500 Danish crowns per month in bonus payouts. And that brings us back to today, to right now. And as always, I performed very well in the last year. I have completely exceeded all my sales targets, and this is something that I have done for the past 5 years, ever since I started working at this company. Every time I get a target, I just completely blow it out of the park, and my targets are raised, but I just keep beating them basically. And another interesting thing also happened, and that is that me and all other employees in the whole company, we got an email a few weeks ago saying that this has been the best year in the company's history, and like the bottom line is just looking great, and we are making more money than ever before. And it was especially pointed out that Copenhagen, which is the market that I'm working in, was performing very, very well, and the results were just amazing. But right now you can probably guess what happened in my yearly salary review last week. I was offered a 2.3% raise, which is taking my base salary up to 51,000 Danish crowns per month. And I hope that you can understand that I'm pretty disappointed with this 2.3% raise. But basically, I was just told that there is absolutely nothing more that they can do for me right now. And even though I exceeded all my goals and performed really well, 2.3% is all there is left at this moment in time for me. And that is one of my main motivations for making this video today, because in Denmark, as I said in the beginning of this video, we really don't talk about our salaries and money with our co-workers and friends and family and stuff like that. And I feel like I'm in a situation right now where it's very hard for me to negotiate a higher salary because I basically don't know what my co-workers are making. And this is a problem in general in Denmark and in the job market. I think that the more we stay silent as employees, the easier it is for the company who employs us to keep our salaries low. And the sad truth is that the company that you're working for will always try to pay you as little as possible without you losing motivation and without you quitting your job. That is just the sad truth. And there is no one else in this world that will ever negotiate your salary on your behalf. We don't get paid what we are worth. We get paid what we are able to negotiate. And when we don't talk openly and when we're not being transparent about our salaries, it just makes it much more difficult for normal people like you and me to know what fair pay actually is. So yeah, that's it. That is my full, honest transparent salary journey from 32,000 to where I am today. And as I said in the beginning of this video, I really hope that this video inspires you and everyone else watching to talk more openly and freely about salaries so we can help each other get paid what we are worth and get paid for our hard work and our loyalty. And I would really love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. If you are comfortable, feel free to share your own salary in the comments down below. And also, if you have any negotiation tactics or tips that you can share with me and all the other people watching this video, feel free to share them in the comments down below. I personally believe that it is so important that we start to normalize having these conversations. And maybe the comment section of this video is a good place to start. And if you enjoyed watching this video, I think that you will also enjoy watching this video where I explain exactly how much money I spent living my best life here in Copenhagen in 2026. And with that said, thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.